Final smashes are probably my favorite parts of a character's moveset. Whenever I try to think about how a character will be added to Smash, I always think about how their ultimate moves would be represented in their final smash. Many fighters do a great job with having a super powerful attack that feels awesome to use and is faithful to the game. Other fighters, however, have ones that look bad, or boring, or just completely bastardize their source material. So today, I wanted to look at every fighter's final smash in Smash Ultimate to see who has the best final smash. Let me emphasize that this is not a ranking of how good they are in a fight or competitively. I will mostly base them on how they function, how they look, how they sound, and how they make it look ultra powerful. However, how good a final smash can impact their placement if they are underpowered or overpowered. And also, I will not focus on how good the final smashes are in comparison to their Brawl or Smash 4 counterparts, especially since I barely played Brawl. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 89, Mario Finale. For such a prolific character who has been in over 200 games, it is absolute insanity that he gets one of the most boring final smashes in the game. While some final smashes can be worse in this regard, at least some of them are faithful to their games or lack the source material for their final smash. There is no excuse for Mario Finale. It's a completely original move, which is just two big fireballs floating across the screen. I know you could make a case that looks flashy, but does it have to be so uninspired in the process? I don't know how the Smash team saw power-ups like the Mega Mushroom or the Star and decided not to include them, but include this joke of a final smash. Number 88, Dr. Finale. The only reason I'm putting this higher than Mario's is that Dr. Mario doesn't really have nearly as much source material to work with. But at the same time, they seriously had to reskin Mario's already atrocious final smash? Why couldn't they have him throw pills down from the top of the screen to crush opponents? While it's not as sad as the last one, it is still pretty sad. Number 87, Chain Attack. Shulk's final smash has probably the single most baffling change from Smash 4 to Ultimate. It added a character who is a massive spoiler to Xenoblade. You couldn't even give that character a design that isn't even really a spoiler. This change is even more stupid when you realize that this character's inclusion completely breaks Xenoblade 1's combat system. In the game, you can only have up to 3 characters in your party at a time, but because of this new character, there are 4 characters, literally destroying any justification for this terrible change. On top of all that, it's barely even chain attack. In Xenoblade, chain attacks are turn-based, and all the party members attack sequentially. But in Smash, they all attack at once with no clear order? What was Sakurai smoking? While it is based on something from the game, it is so bastardized to the point that it might as well not be. Number 86 and 85, Toon and Young Link Triforce Slash. Another completely original move. It's literally just the Link slashing at opponents with the series' main emblem floating around next to it. While it does look kinda cool, why did it have to be original? Is there really nothing to base Link's final smash from in the N64 games or the Wind Waker? It's just mindless slashes with the most minimal connection to the game. Number 84, Jungle Rush. I know this move is a reference, but at the same time, it's just so generic. It's literally just Donkey Kong throwing a million punches with pretty much nothing unique about it. The move honestly just seems out of character for Donkey Kong as well, with him just angrily doing the attack with no personality to be seen. There's way more and better source material to base Donkey Kong's final smash than this. Number 83, Puff Up. This is a really funny final smash that apparently originated from the Pokemon anime. I like the concept of Jigglypuff growing to a gigantic size, but the attack is so poorly designed it's absurd. It is so easy to avoid, and even if you can't avoid it, the hitbox of the attack is so janky that it can be a struggle to even get hit, even if you want to. While the move is kind of funny, its use as an attack is so bad that I can't rate it any higher. Number 82, Supersonic. While Supersonic is an obvious choice for Final Smash, it is really poorly executed. It just revolves around juggling your opponents on top of the screen with weak and easily dodgeable attacks. This final smash is so poorly implemented that I can't place any higher either. Number 81, Pair Up. While this move does look cool and flashy, why is Chrom here? It made sense in Smash 4 because Chrom wasn't a fighter, but now he is, so this just looks so goofy now. They literally couldn't delete him or just replace him with any other Fire Emblem Awakening character? How did this get passed into the final product? Number 80, Dark Pit Staff. This is a pretty underwhelming attack. It's literally just Zelda and Sheik's old Final Smash, except it looks a lot worse and is boring. It's just a simple laser hitting the opponent with extreme close-ups and the home run bat sound effect for some reason. To put simply, it's boring. Number 79, Lightning Chariot. Of all the ways to implement Final Smash, they had to reskin the Dragoon parts. It just feels unoriginal and lazy. At least I like the sound effects for it though. Number 78, Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. Easily one of the worst cutscene Final Smashes. The whole thing just looks kinda lazy, and it looks like it's almost entirely 2D effects. Sothis is literally a PNG with two alternating images of a mouth. I like the sound effects. Why does it have to look so ugly? Number 77, Grand Star. While the concept is fine despite the lack of source material you could have pulled from Rosalina's Final Smash, this one is also not very well designed. It's not awful, but I wish it didn't rely on a lot of setup for your opponent to actually hit the star. Number 76, Giga Bowser. They really had to replace a playable Giga Bowser with another Dragoon clone? At least this one actually looks a lot cooler, and the punch looks super powerful. But still, did they have to give this one such a boring redesign? Number 75, Octopus. I never really liked his Final Smash, even in Smash 4, and definitely not this one either. It just feels janky to control, and the Final Smash relying on a command grab that can be mashed out of is not a good mix. However, the move itself is pretty funny, and the humming sound effect that plays during it is strangely satisfying to hear. Number 74, Triple Finish. I really expected more from this. I know that giving each Pokemon a Final Smash would be a hassle, but just giving them a big laser move just feels boring. They could have done a team combo with all the Pokemon, or even implement the trainer itself, like making the trainer catch the opponent in a Pokeball. This Final Smash is just one big waste of potential. Number 73, Richter's Grand Cross. It takes one of the not as good cutscene Final Smashes and copies and pastes it. It's literally the same as Simon's, but with Richter instead. I don't know a thing about Castlevania, but I really think Richter could have had something more than a copy. Number 72, Falco's Team Star Fox. Although it does look good visually and has dialogue Easter eggs if you use it against certain characters, I don't really like that it's nearly identical to Fox's Final Smash. I wish his was more unique instead of just being the same with minimal differences. Number 71, Team Starwolf. I pretty much feel the same with this as with Falco's Final Smash, but at least it's a little more different than Fox's, though not as much. I still wish that it were a bit more unique. Number 70, Full Blast. Definitely one of the worst big laser Final Smashes, and the laser goes too slow to look cool. I know most Mii moves have to be generic, but I just wish this one were more interesting. Number 69, Shinku Hadoken. Ryu's range Final Smash is just a big Hadoken that has multiple hits. While it looks pretty cool, it just feels very underwhelming. The Hadoken isn't even really that big to justify being its own Final Smash. Number 68, Hyper Rocket Barrel. While I like how fast and powerful the move feels, it just feels kinda off. It feels a little janky to use and doesn't even work right on some stages. And like Donkey Kong's Final Smash, it doesn't really match his character either. Number 67, Daisy Blossom. While Peach's Final Smash fits well for her, it seems lazy that Daisy has a reskin of this, and I don't think it really matches her character as much as it does with Peach. It's also weird that this move has you eating daisies instead of Peach. Like, do they seriously think flowers are food? If you want to hear what I like about it, wait for the part about Peach's Final Smash. Number 66, Wii Fit. Yes, this Final Smash is literally just called Wii Fit. Anyways, it does kind of look overly goofy with the floating exercise poses, and it really isn't a very powerful Final Smash. But given that there isn't a lot of source material to have for Wii Fit Trainer's Final Smash, it's not as bad as a lot of others. Number 65, Pichu's Volt Tackle. Although it still looks good, I'm not a big fan of reusing Final Smashes like this, and I don't think they should damage the user as well. However, a cool detail that I like is that Volt Tackle is learned by a Pichu hatching from an egg, so it is a surprisingly good choice to be Pichu's Final Smash, though it may just be a coincidence from using it from Pikachu. Number 64, Ancient Arrow. While it's good that they actually give Link a Final Smash that isn't completely original and boring, I don't think this one is very interesting either. It is literally just a single blink and you miss it shot that feels underwhelming. I think there's a lot more interesting Final Smashes that Link could have gotten from Breath of the Wild, but at least it's not Triforce Slash. Number 63, Gigamac. While I think that the attack really feels powerful and has a good reference behind it, I just think it's too generic as an attack. I just think that many big punches are a boring attack, just like Donkey Kong's, but I placed it higher because it fits Lil Mac a lot more. After all, he is a boxer and it doesn't really seem nearly as out of character. Number 62, Team Star Fox. It is pretty well animated, and I do like the dialogue Easter eggs, but it just feels like this is one of the less interesting Final Smashes. I just feel like the move is such an obvious pick from the source material that it just kind of becomes boring. I also only just realized this while writing the script, that this Final Smash commits the same crime as Robin's, in that Falco is supposed to drive one of the ships even though he's already a fighter. The more you know. Number 61, Zero Laser. I think this move does really look cool with how ZSS shoots the opponents from the Z-axis, and it works well as a more unique Dragoon style Final Smash. However, it is still another Dragoon Final Smash, which I find to be just uninspired. Number 60, Awakening Ether. While the movement of the attacks look fluid and stylish, it just doesn't seem very powerful. The sound and the attack itself just seem like a normal slash. I really wish the crit sound was in this one as well. Number 59, Roy's Critical Hit. While it is not as good as most of the other Fire Emblem Final Smashes, I like how powerful it feels and the sound it makes, especially the critical hit sounds. I just think the others do it better. Number 58, Simon's Grand Cross. This is definitely one of the weaker cutscene Final Smashes. I just think that the camera angles feel off, and I'm kinda unsure about what Simon is even doing in this cutscene, though the visuals, especially the moon, do look very good. Number 57, Iceberg. Considering there isn't a lot of source material for Ice Climber's Final Smash, let alone the rest of his moveset, I think this is a perfectly acceptable Final Smash. There really isn't a lot of spectacle, but I do like the attention to detail, like being able to ride on the pterodactyl. Number 56, Omega Blitz. Another perfectly fine Final Smash for Mii Brawler. It is very flashy with hits that feel like they hit hard, though it does feel pretty generic, even though that is kind of the point. Number 55, Darkness Illusion. Meta Knight has another fine Final Smash. I like how fast Meta Knight moves to make it feel like a ton of hits, but it doesn't really feel that powerful. It doesn't really have a specific reference, despite Meta Knight's big catalog of moves. Number 54, Aura Storm. Lucario's Final Smash looks super powerful with the huge laser, but I still think it could be better. Despite it looking strong, the blast actually feels kinda weak, and the move just lasts too short of a time. I still think that it looks really cool to pull off though. Number 53, Covering Fire. While Snake's Final Smash is undeniably too easy to land and hit opponents with, I still think it is really cool. I like the aiming screen and being able to shoot missiles at the opponents. It just feels really powerful and awesome to land. Number 52, Torrential Roar. I think this move looks pretty cool, with Corrin turning into a dragon, but I think that is a perfectly fine Final Smash. It doesn't really have anything wrong with it. But I think that could have been better not as a cutscene Final Smash, with Corrin shooting the water at opponents on the stage in a massive blast. Number 51, NES Zapper Posse. For a while, I didn't really like Duck Hunt's Final Smash, but I thought it was kind of cheap looking and stupid. Now, however, I think the stupidness kind of makes it funny. I really like the part in particular where the opponent floats after being shot, and it plays a bright, magical sounding note. This Final Smash is honestly so dumb, it's good. Number 50, Lucina's Critical Hit. I still like this Final Smash, though I still gotta bring it down for being a clone of Marth's Final Smash. Still, everything I like about his Final Smash applies to Lucina too. However, I think they could have done more with Lucina's Final Smash, especially since she is from a newer game with a more variety of attacks. Number 49, Black Hole Laser. I really like how cool Palutena's Final Smash looks, how powerful it feels with the gigantic laser. I just wish that it didn't combine two generic powerful objects to attack, but I never played Kid Icarus, so what do I know? Number 48 and 47. Phazon Laser and Zero Laser, respectively. I know these moves are pretty much completely original, but I just really like how it feels to use a gigantic beam across the stage. Like, this laser is ginormous. I decided to put these two together because while Dark Samus' Final Smash is pretty much a copy and paste, I just think it's a cool enough Final Smash that I'll let it slide. While they are kinda generic, I think that they are still really cool. Number 46. Killer Whale. While it is another big beam type move and not as visually interesting as Samus's, it helps that this is actually a reference for once. It's also good that you can control Inkling while this attack happens, so you can hit your opponents into the blast. Number 45. Dream Town Hall. I put Isabelle's Final Smash lower than Villager's because it is a clone, but I'm not going to be too harsh because there really isn't a lot you can pull from Animal Crossing to be a Final Smash. Pretty much everything I will say for Villager's Final Smash accounts for Isabelle's, so I'll just wait for his. Number 44. Giga Slash. I never played Dragon Quest, so I'm assuming this is a good tribute to the franchise by having all of the Dragon Quest protagonists show up to help Hero make a big blow. If I were a big Dragon Quest fan, I'd probably be pretty excited, but alas, I am not. The cutscene also looks a little janky, so I'm afraid it has to lose some points for that. Number 43. Mega Legends. Unlike Dragon Quest, I have played Mega Man. I finished the first game, but I got stuck on a boss somewhere in the second game. Seriously guys, how do you beat this? I've been stuck for years. Unfortunately, I have no interest in the spin-offs, so these cameos don't really do anything for me, but I can see why a big Mega Man fan would. I put this one over Heroes because the cutscene is less janky, though I'm not a big fan of the camera angles. Number 42. Shinryu-ken. Even though it's Ken's ranged Final Smash, it's one of the most unique ones of the game simply because it is a massive vertical attack. While it isn't very practical, I like how you can combo into it with an upwards launching attack, though at that point just doing his melee version is probably a much better choice. Number 41. Final Edge. Mii Sword Fighter has the best Final Smash of the Miis easily, in my opinion. I really like the animation that they do when they're shooting out hundreds of slashes. However, the move itself is kinda generic, though it is kind of the point. It isn't really the most powerful Final Smash. However, it is easily the coolest one. Number 40 and number 39. Burning Sword and Sacred Arrow, respectively. Pyre and Mythos Final Smashes look like they were ripped straight out of the game, and I appreciate the faithfulness as a big Xenoblade fan. While they're very straight to the point and have nothing wrong with them, I just don't think they're really as cool or do enough unique stuff to put them any higher, besides being the first Final Smashes to start as a cutscene then turn back into the game. I may have a huge Xenoblade bias, but I don't think it's that strong. Number 38. Secret Ninja Attack. While I do like that as a more stylized Final Smash, I don't think that it looks that great with the moon looking like a PNG and the colors just being weirdly off. With just a few changes, it would place a lot higher on here. Number 37. Pikachu's Volt Tackle. I really like how this move works with being stuck in a massive combo with a fast electric ball, and the animations are really smooth and make it look really good and powerful. The why isn't Thunderbolt their Final Smash? It's literally their most iconic move. Number 36. Guided Robo Beam. While it takes a while to really start the attack, it's one of the most unique massive beam Final Smashes. I really like how little beams are shot to keep opponents in place while charging. I love how massive the beam is at the end of the move. Number 35. Mars Critical Hit. I used to not be a big fan of this Final Smash since, like Link, it goes by very fast, but I think I've warmed up to it. I love how he dashes incredibly fast towards the opponent for a powerful hit, and the crit sound effect is incredibly satisfying. However, I don't like how it can KO yourself if you miss, and you aren't fast enough to cancel it. Number 34. Triforce of Wisdom. I think this Final Smash is a really good concept. While I don't think it's based on anything specific, Zelda has Triforce powers in the game, so I will let it slide. While I really like how powerful it is to suction in enemies from far away and have them explode, it is definitely too powerful. It's pretty much a free KO due to how much damage it does and how far it sucks, and may have ruined any hope for Final Smashes being legal in competitive Smash. Number 33. Arms Rush. Like Hero and Mega Man, Min Min assembles the other ARMS characters for one big attack. Although I barely played ARMS, I put this a lot higher because I recognize the characters, and it visually looks and sounds a lot better than the others. Number 32. Peach Blossom. This is a very unique Final Smash. Unlike all the other Final Smashes, this one is a lot more defensive, since it puts the opponents to sleep and lets you heal yourself. While it is a completely original move and it's kinda overpowered, I really like how unique it is compared to the other fighters. Number 31, Dream Home. Although Animal Crossing doesn't have a lot of material for a moveset, the devs are still able to do a lot with it, including its Final Smash. Building a house in Animal Crossing is a bit of a big accomplishment, so seeing it be used in a Final Smash thematically makes sense. The way the Nooks have to be blown up too. Now that's just sad. Number 30, House of Boom. I was one of the many Gen Zers who have grown up with Minecraft, so of course, I'm gonna put this high. However, I think that this Final Smash could have been better. I honestly think there could have been better choices for a Final Smash, like sending the opponents to the end to get hit by the Ender Dragon, or Steve could have spawned a Wither to blow up the opponent. While I get why they would want to use Creepers since they're pretty much the face of Minecraft, I can't help but feel there was some missed potential, though I do like that Steve eats a steak at the end of it. Number 29, Stealing the Keyhole. I really like the effects on this Final Smash, from the backgrounds to the explosion at the end. While there could have been a few more exciting picks for a Final Smash for Sora besides closing a door, I have never played Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know. Number 28, Shin Shuriken. While this is a pretty simple attack, I love the visuals in this Final Smash, giving this a ton of exciting style, though I do prefer how Ken does it. Way better than Ryu's ranged Final Smash. Number 27, Final Blast. I love the cinematic in this move with him unleashing all the lasers on the enemy. It looks really well animated and shows how powerful Kazuya truly is. The lasers and the visual at the end in particular just look really epic to land. Number 26, Triple Wolf. While this Final Smash recycles attacks already in Terry's moveset, it is a surprisingly cool attack. I love the camera angles and the lighting that make his attacks feel a lot more stylized. It's a lot better than the sum of its parts. Number 25, Great Ether. Easily one of the coolest looking and flashiest Final Smashes. Although it functions as the usual massive combo Final Smashes, it's just amazing to look at all the effects fly across the screen as Ike beats up the opponent in such a stylistic way. Number 24, Petey Piranha. I really like how unique this Final Smash functions, with him bouncing around the stage with opponents in the cages. The attack he makes feel really powerful with both the Fire Blast and the Final Slam against the ground. I really like seeing Petey being represented in the game, but now I wonder why he wasn't a fighter, but Plant is. Number 23, Max Malicious Moonsault. Incineroar's Final Smash takes an obvious pick for the move and makes it even better. I really like how it brings the opponent up high, only for him to crash down onto a wrestling arena. I love the sound and visual effects to make this attack really seem powerful. Number 22, the Mighty Jinjonator. I really love how this cutscene looks and is animated with the Jinjos flying around and slamming into the opponent. It's also just really flashy and matches Banjo's cartoony vibe. Number 21, Poltergust GOO. I love how big and powerful the winds on Poltergust look when sucking. I strangely like the sound of the opponents being shot out of it. I also like how in character it is for Luigi to be flailing around while using the move because of how powerful it is. It's also kind of cool that it subtly teased Luigi's Mansion 3 by making the backpack green. Number 20, End of Day. I don't know a thing about Pikmin, but it's still a very unique Final Smash. I like how those beetle guys chomp at the opponents while Olimar is in the air. It's really cool that he uses rock as a bomb to make a huge explosion. Number 19, Ultra Sword. I always love a Return to Dreamland reference, so of course, this Final Smash gets high on my list. It feels really powerful and visually looks great. It feels like a perfect pick for his Final Smash, and adding the combo from the final boss fight makes it look even stronger. Number 18, Shadow Mario Paint. I really love how unique this Final Smash is. Using Shadow Mario to vandalize the camera is perfectly in character for him. While the attack can be inconsistent, it's so satisfying seeing your opponents get juggled in the paint before it blows up. Number 17 and 16, Lucas's and Ness's PK Starstorm, respectively. Both of these are really fun to use. I love the massive meteors knocking into opponents into other meteors, especially with multiple fighters to create maximum chaos. I would put Ness slightly higher than Lucas because his version is easier to control. Number 15. Stampede. This is easily the funniest Final Smash in the game. Yoshi summons a herd of other Yoshi to stampede over the opponents, which is a great reference to the Melee opening. While I would prefer a Final Smash that came from one of Yoshi's own games, it's honestly just so hilarious seeing all the Yoshis run over the fighters. I can't put it any lower. Number 14. Side Strike. Although it looks like a basic projectile Final Smash, it honestly looks and feels amazing. I love that it looks like you're literally blowing up your opponent's mind, and the effects and the sounds are phenomenal. Number 13. Ganon, the Demon King. I really like how they were able to turn his old Final Smash into one that adapts Ocarina of Time, and it honestly feels stronger than ever. I love how he uses sword to stun the enemies before doing a massive stampede towards the opponents. It just feels really powerful and awesome. Number 12. Both versions of Omni Slash. I decided to group these two because they function pretty much the same. They both look outstanding and both make the massive combo Final Smash type as flashy as possible. I do put version 5 just slightly higher because I like how he breaks apart his sword and puts it together as he attacks. Number 11. Shippu I'm not even gonna try. Ken's Melee Final Smash probably has one of my favorite move animations in the game. I love how all of the kicks elevate them like a helicopter. It looks absolutely sick. Don't even get me started on all the screen effects that make this look so flashy and exciting. Number 10. Wario Man. Although people complain that his new Final Smash isn't interactive anymore, I love his new one. It just has so much personality with the onomatopoeia sound bubbles and Wario's expressions, making it one of the flashiest Final Smashes. Number 9. Sheikah Dance. Although it is completely original, this Final Smash looks incredible. I love how the monochrome colors make the slashes infinitely cooler and make a typical combo Final Smash stand out so well. Number 8. Super Pac-Man. This one is honestly just so fun. I love just dashing around the stage and sweeping through every opponent, especially in fights with multiple people. I also just love a lot of the details in it, like these opponents turning into eyes and the score showing up when hit. Number 7. Blue Falcon. An absolute classic Final Smash. Driving Captain Falcon's car is a perfect choice for his Final Smash. It's just so iconic. I love the F-Zero sounds and his voice lines as he runs over the opponents at the speed of sound. It's just too much of a classic to put this any lower. Number 6. DD Rush. Easily one of the best animated and coolest Final Smashes in the game. His pin attack on the opponent trapped on the cage wall looks super powerful, feels devastating to land. Undeniably one of my favorites. Number 5. Plasma Scream. While this Final Smash doesn't reference anything in particular, it's still absolutely amazing. I love the visuals of Ridley blowing up Samus' ship, which shows how powerful it is. It also demonstrates how scary and dangerous Ridley can be with how violent the Final Smash is. There's also a cool detail that you can see Samus' ship crash in the background of the stage at the end of the cutscene. Number 4. Blast-O-Matic. Another phenomenal Final Smash for the villain wins. I love that it references a game over screen of DK64, except this time it actually shows him blowing up DK Island. This looks insanely powerful with the massive laser explosion. I also love the sound effect of the explosion in particular, showing how powerful it truly is. It's also kind of crazy that Nintendo allowed Sakurai to literally blow up a beloved video game character's island. Number 3. Infernal Climax. Easily the best use of interactiveness in the Final Smash. I love the slow motion status in Smash and how easily you can combo with it, so of course I would love this Final Smash. I also love the section with the dragon and how great the animation was. In addition to how great it looks and how well it's animated, I love how mashing during it gives more damage. Surprise isn't utilized more in other Final Smashes like Pyra and Mithras. Easily one of the most fun Final Smashes. Number 2. All Out Attack. As somebody who isn't really a big Persona fan, I can confidently say that this Final Smash is absolutely amazing. This Final Smash is so faithful to the move in Persona 5, it's insane. Besides the blood being replaced by stars for obvious reasons, if you put the versions from Persona and Smash together, it would be nearly impossible to tell them apart. Pretty much every detail is replicated, including a detail that if you KO your opponent with the move on their last stock, you get a special victory screen straight from the game. Also, just love the style and flashy colors that the move makes, which really make it stand out from all the others, make it the best in the game, if not for one other Final Smash. Number 1. Supernova. Although I'm guessing it's a spoiler, this is such a perfect Final Smash that I cannot put lower. I absolutely love the cinematics of this one, with the meteor crashing into the sun, causing the Earth to explode. It's just so insane having Earth literally explode from under you as a super move. But what really sells me on this Final Smash is the status effects. At the end of the Final Smash, opponents get a random status effect, from having a flower on their head to having their controls reversed, creating even more damage after the move is done. It's just so unique that I'm surprised that other Final Smashes haven't done something similar. All those reasons make Sephiroth have the best Final Smash in the game. So that was my ranking of every Final Smash in Smash Ultimate. While there were a bunch of stinkers, there were a lot that I absolutely loved, and can't wait to see how Smash 6 will improve upon them. Were there any Final Smashes that I overrated or underrated? Feel free to tell me in the comments, and like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.